Hey there, welcome back to the channel, and today for episode 4 of our Lego Monster Hunter series, this is Zinogre. This is one of my favorite mammal-like monsters in the entire franchise. I love its coloration. It's a very unique monster, especially the time it came out. Monster Hunter Tri-Portable is just a very different little thunder wolf monster. But yeah, you can see all this little posability to it on your shelves. The little feet, this one's fine, but the way it's built, it's a little tricky to get the back feet in place, but yeah, especially that one. But yeah, let's get to the building. All right, we're gonna start off with our torso. It is one piece. So I'm just going to take a few parts off, and I'm going to try to take this whole side off, and yeah, it's going to do that. That's fine. But here, I'll show you the inside, how to build the skeleton. So here it is. Here's the back joint. This is where the tail attaches. Here's where your legs on the ball joint. You're going to need I guess you don't need it, but it helps to have a friction extender on just any color that goes with one of these Technic Bionicle ball joints. And then you're going to have a 2x3 to connect to these two, and a 2x2 to connect to this teal brick. Or I guess I use a 2x1s, but a 2x2 works. And then here you've got this little assembly on the bottom. It's a 2x3 with a 2x1 in the center, and then you've got these upside down slopes with a notch. And so that's the leg attachment. Here's the front chest segment. You got a 1x3, and you've got two of these 2x6, but they're rounded in the corners. And then if we just take that off and look in the center, here we can see the inside. This could have been a 1x4, but who cares? It looks all the same. And those just all attach in line. I'll have to leave that there because it can't really attach to nothing. And here's a 2x6 with a 2x2 on the top, and those just kind of go like that, almost like a little shield. And then that's gonna go on that 2x6 and the shirt. Here's another one of these hinge joints, you can see, and this is just a textured fur claw piece, whatever, with that notch, just like the slopes. And then here's a 1x2 with a 1x2 bracket, and those just go right on top of there. Here are the chests. I just put some random 1x2s right there, so anything goes there. And this is this is a 4x6, and it's a little odd shaped. I don't really know. It's like a sloped 4x6 brick. I don't really know how to describe it, but here's a 3x4 with a 2x2 in the center opening, and it has slopes on the ends. And here's just another one of these 2x2 with the notch slopes, and those just go like that. And then this, you can see it inserts where that is at, and so that's going to be your chest. And now the sides, like right here, or here, let me cover that inside of it. So here you can see we have a lot of these clip joints, and then this is a 1x2 with a 1x4, and then this is a 1x2 with a 1x2 bracket, and that allows this to go in there. And these are just the claw fur pieces with a 1x2 and a bar attachment. And then this one has a 1x2 on the top. And here is, if you go a brick down and place a 1x2 with a 2x2 bracket, this little 1x2 tile studs, and this 1x2, this 1x2, what am I talking about? This 2x2 tile with studs, and this 2x2 slope, and this 2x2 slope fur texture goes right on top of that bracket, and it's just a brick down from these, so it's basically on level with them. And that creates there, and you can see there's a brick right there, and then going that brick down, and well, yeah, there's a tile, and then there's a brick right here, so that's 4 studs down. You put our 2 ball joints, as you can see, and then you lay across some tiles, and on level with the ball joint, you can see we have the mixel joint connector. It is just 2 studs down from the bracket. And this is a car piece, just some little gold teeth pieces. Here's another teal cheese slope. Here's a clip. It's just for that extra gold detailing. And if I don't know if I can take that off. Let me try to go from underneath. Here's the structure underneath. So 2 studs up, 2 studs up, 1 stud to separate, so you can attach that in there. And then here we have the back, which is a 1x2 brick with 1x2 studs on the side. And then you can see basically just the detail going up there. That's a 2x6. And you got a 2x4. You got just more of these little ramps, and just trying to create a fur texture as you go up and then down, you know? There's the teeth, just all sorts of texturing. Here, let me try to get this piece out so you can see this one better, where that's at. But yeah, and then you just put that in there, put that there, and we can put this right there, but I gotta put these on here. And this is very fun how this is attached, because as you see, it's upside down. And we use these brackets to connect it upside down. And this little assembly is just a 1x2, and that's gonna go in the center right there. But before that, here we have a 1x3. It kind of creates a little curve. And we have a 1x2 right here with the cheese slope. Here we have a 1x2 with a 1x2 bracket, cheese slope, curved 1x1 tile. And here we have another 1x1 bracket. There's gonna be a lot of these on this build. And you just have some gold ornamentation. This is a brick slope with a notch. You got these 1x1 studs, and that just goes right there. And it kind of covers up the messiness of some of that inside. And then this, it's a 1x1 with a 1x2 bracket. And you got that same 1x3 with the curve and a 1x2 on top. And you got this little cheese slope. And that goes right there. And then this chest can go right on there. Yep, there we go. And then this actually goes right there. Here's the assembly. It's a 2x2 sloped, More teeth. Kind of give that spiky feeling. Spiky. And then you got another one of these big slopes pointing outwards. Don't point it inwards. It won't look, it'll look more smooth than spiky. Okay. Now let's do the head. So here's the neck, very simple. Upside down white plate, 2x2, another 2x2, 2x2 in teal. And you got your mixel joints, make sure they're both opposite. And then another 2x2 in white and a 2x1 with a 2x2 curved tile that has these little notches. Makes it look like an arrow. And here we have our head. Let me take the horns off. Oh, sorry. Here's the head. Looks a little wolf-like. Here's the bottom jaw. This is one of the, this is from the Lego movie. Or this piece is, well, this piece specifically isn't from the Lego movie because it's in gold. I think you find this in some Ninjago sets, though. Some of the, like, C sets or whatever. And this is 2x2 in gold. And that just goes on top of a... I had 1x1s, but you could use a 2x1 clip. And then that goes next to that bar. And you got a 2x2, and you got a 2x1 with one stud. And that goes in the center to kind of just unflatten it. And then you got more of these right here on the top. And that helps it attach to this assembly, which this could easily be a 1x4. But again, I didn't have that. So 1x2, 1x2, 1x1 in light blue instead of teal. And you got a cheese slope and you got a clip, and that is where the horns connect. And you got this 1x1 with the angle, and make sure it's on an angle so that it kind of makes the appearance of a wolf nose. And you got that 1x1 gold, and that's the head. And then these horns, I'll just take one off. And I'm gonna go ahead and here's the attachment point. It's one of these T-bars. Very useful. Very, very useful type of connection with those T-bars always. And here's one of the horns. So we can see here's the front horn. It's one of these robot arms attached by 1x1 with a stud and a 1x1 with a bar. And that's a 1x1 with a bar on the side. And this is a 1x1 brick that goes up, pointed. It's a cone. 1x1 stud. You got that little point there. And here's a little contraption. I can take that off. That attaches to the, wait, no. This attaches to the bar. And this attaches up here, and this is one of these 1x2s with the bar, and it has like the two middle joints. And then this is a 1x1 with a clip connection, and this is a 1x1 or a 2x2, whatever. And it has like that connection right there. And those kind of go right there. And this is a 1x2 on top. It could be a flat, but I like the extra detail. And this is a little claw piece attached onto the top of this, which is a 1x1 brick. Two studs. And then you got this in the back. Kind of helps cover up the tan. And you got more of that tan. And this claw piece, newer sets, just kind of tucks in right there. And I'm going to go and put this part on there so then I can line this up correctly. And you want everything at kind of an angle. And that's the head. That's probably the hardest part of the build. Let's do the back legs. Super simple. One of these 3x3s with the rounded corner, and then just on top of it, super simple, rounded 2x2, just like right here, but rounded. And then you got a 1x1 rounded, 1x3 curve. You got two of these 1x2s with the slope and notch. And here's the attachment, 1x3 on both sides in teal. And you got 2x3s in teal attachment on both sides. And you got 1x3, two 1x3s in tan, a 1x1 teal stud, and a 1x2 mixel joint connector, ball joint. And this is 1x1 bracket. What do you call this? I don't know, round 1x1, I guess. And then here's the feet. Very simple, gold. Here's another one of these weird round pieces. I guess, yeah, it's like a round piece without like a notch. So it's just flat on the bottom. And then this is a 2x2 tan, 1x1 tan with a 1x1 connection going up. 1x2 flat, and there's the clip. And those just kind of go on there. Make sure that this lines up with this. It kind of covers up the ball joint a little bit. Makes it look a little better. Okay. Set it to the side. Here we'll do the tail. I'll just take apart one side. Here's the inside. It's as thick as a brick. You don't really need you're not really gonna see this teal. I just placed it there because I had it and I didn't want to go get more white. But here we go. This is just 2x2 brackets covering this so that it's secure and firm. And then this is a 2x2 with that notch on the end. And this could be you could use a 2x4 right here. And then here's some more teeth pieces, 3 teeth pieces. Or 2 teeth pieces, but the teeth pieces are 3 teeth, whatever. And then this is a flat white tile. And then right here we got another one of these 2x2 with curves on the ends. I think I have, no, is this the only spot in teal? Yeah. And here I have another one of these gold slopes pointing down, kind of give that spiky. And then we have a cheese slope and a rounded tile. Did this go like this? Yeah. So this is a little texturing 2x2, 2x2 with curves on both sides, 2x2 with curves on both sides, and then this is a 2x2, but the curves go down an extra stud, leaving a little gap, and that's just going to go right there. And this entire thing, it's about the thickness of a brick and 2 studs. Here you got a flat 2x4 on top, you got a tooth piece, and then here, one stud below this bracket, which is attached to the bottom, is a 1x1 with a 1x1 bracket going down. And this is one of these notch up. It's like a bracket, but it's a brick surface. And so that just goes right there. And then this is a cheese slope. And goes right there. This 1x3 with the curve. And you just put that right there, and then that slope down right there. And then this is one of the 2x2s slope. It's weird, but it's useful. And then this is another one of these. It's oddly shaped. I don't know how to describe it. It's like those brick slopes, but there's no brick on the inside. And this little cool contraption for the end of the tail is Technic. You get one of these 1x2 rounded plates. I guess it could be square, but it looks better rounded. And then you get one of these I'm going to call these X pins on the end, and then you want the hole on the middle, and then that lets these X pins or plus pins, I don't know. Oh wait, no, they need to be facing the this way with the studs, so that when you place it in, you place it right there and it just clips in. Boom. And then there's that Zinogre's tail, and then here's the arm, and we'll go step by step. Here we're gonna have a 2x4 with slope tiles attached, 2x2 tiles, and then here we have a 1x1 spiky piece and a 1x3 with a slope. And that's gonna go on top of here with that spiky piece going above. And then this 1x3, or here's the ball joint. The ball joint, make a brick out of it in gray or whatever. I had teal. And 1x1 studs. And you got these bracket joints that kind of connect together. And you want to do the same thing on this side that you did over here, but you want that 1x4. And that just kind of makes it better, stronger. And then this is a 2x2 curve. And that just goes there. And this is a 1x3, 2x2s. And I think I had it alternating on each arm. Yep. And so that goes there. And then this is, you don't need this. I think this was from the Lloyd's Jungle Dragon from Ninjago. I'm not sure. Wait, no, it's supposed to go like this. Let me fix this arm. Yeah. Now for the bottom arm, we get to the gold. Here's the gold. Here's two more of these weird round pieces. This one has, this is a 2x3, that slope on the end, and this is another one of those, I don't know what to call these. Just weird pieces from the horn. And this is a 1x4 in tan. It's a 1x4 slope in tan. That just kind of goes right there. And this could just be a 1x2, and then this is a 1x2 on this side, but it has that bracket on it. So you can attach the spike at the top. And then here you have a 1x2 plate, 2x2. That could just be a full tan or full gold 2x4. And then this is a 2x2 in gold, and this is a 2x2 tan. One of these little round flats, not flat, just kind of round tiles upside down. And then there's the ball joint connections on both sides. And here's the feet. Here's, you want one of these claw hand pieces, and you want the newer gold claws on the ends. And then here's a bracket with the bracket going up, 1x2, 1x2. And that goes on top. This is one of the spike pieces, and this is a ball joint connector for mixels. Tooth, 1x1 tooth. And that goes on the inside of the foot. And then this 1x1 stud, and you want to put a plate 1x1 with that bar connector. And then here's another one of these arm joints, just like on the horns right there. And you want the tooth to kind of be going out right here on the arm. You want to kind of place it just like that. And you clip it there. You click this there. Bam. Boom. You got a Zinogre. Thunderlord. Or whatever. Never fought him. But, yeah. It's cool.